Welcome to, this is the NXT Takeover Wrap-Up. I am Ryan Young, joining me on the phone, the king of controversy, Anthony Smoody.
What a weekend.
How we doing? First, of course, we are ready for, we're doing the NXT Takeover Wrap-Up. Our first NXT Takeover Wrap-Up we're doing points for, and what a night it was from the Freeman Coliseum.
Yes, and it was a wild and shocking night, as we say.
Now, of course, I didn't get a chance to watch this live. I was coming home from the Potawatomi Bingo and Casino, and oh, mammy, Tony. It was okay. So when I went there, it was Chinese New Year's on Saturday. So it was.
Oh my God.
They were celebrating Chinese New Year's at Potawatomi.
You're a rooster.
Yeah, I did walk away a winner, but we'll skim past that point. Okay. Opening match, it was Eric Young defeating Ty Dillinger, the Perfect 10. Where does this leave Eric Young now?
Well, this leaves Eric Young mostly getting a title shot.
So do you see him being well, we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll talk about the title picture in a little bit. Match number 2 of the evening, Roderick Strong got a win over Andrade Cien Almas. Roderick Strong says he wants a world title match. So do you see him and Eric Young possibly getting in a feud together?
Yes, I would love to see that. And possibly maybe Roderick Strong joining Insanity.
Well, remember they tried to get Ty Dillinger into Sanity, and Ty Dillinger said, "No, I'll pass."
I don't know. You never know. They might get somebody in there.
Match number 3, NXT Tag Team titles. I was shocked about this one. The Authors of Pain, Tony, you picked them to win. They got the win over DIY. They are your new tag team champions.
Well, them big boys, they're huge and they're everything. They're tag team champions, so they are now champions again.
What was the last year, Tony? What year did he have the tag team champions with the LOD or the Road Warriors?
Oh my God, I have to go back to the early I think it was like 87, 88.
Was that in WWE or was that in another AWA or something?
That was in the AWA, WCW era.
Okay, then our 4th match, NXT Women's title. This one we pretty much knew. Asuka defeats Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Nikki Cross. You had a feeling that no one's taking that title from Asuka, but it looks like Ember Moon could be next for NXT TakeOver Orlando.
Well, that could be a big one. But speaking of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, they might be the lesbian couple of the year.
Tony, they annoy me. They just act like they're so much better than everybody.
Well, they are. They think they're better than everybody, and they come out and hold hands, and yep, they're the lesbian couple of the year.
Well, that it's only January. What if we find another lesbian couple?
Man, we might find one down in Orlando.
We'll be the first ones to let you know. Yep. Final match, NXT Championship on the line. This one was an upset, as also. Bobby Roode defeats Shinsuke Nakamura, your winner and new NXT champion. Congratulations. We both said, Tony, that we thought he was going to win it and WrestleMania weekend. He gets it here in San Antonio. That was a shocker.
Well, yes, and I was watching when Nakamura got injured, and that was the turning point for Bobby Roode to get the title, and Nakamura is going to be out for a while, so that's possibly leading to him taking some time off for a while. So
now that leads to who's next in line. Who's going to get that opportunity at the biggest stage of the year for WWE and NXT WrestleMania weekend?
Eric Young.
Okay, we'll see if that's the case. That is your NXT TakeOver wrap-up. I think I said warm-up earlier, but maybe. Yeah. Did I? I'm all confused. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we're going to send it to Kenosha, Wisconsin. SSW's post show. No Mike, no Tony. I was by myself, Tony.
Yeah?
Yep, and we'll see how it went. Even though at the end I said we're going to the WrestleMania wrap-up. It was the Royal Rumble wrap-up. But anyway, we'll send it to Kenosha. We'll be back in segment 3. Let you know what happened at the Royal Rumble. We'll be back. In Kenosha, this is the SSW Post Show representing the Ringside Report. I am Ryan Young. No Mike, no Tony, no one. It's just me. That's the way we like it here on the Ringside Report. Let's start this thing off by how this show started. Of course, RJ Daniels came out and announced the Ice Pick Vic Capri unable to defend his title tonight due to injury. He'll be out. So therefore, there'll be 2 fatal 4-way matches. The winners of those 2 matches will be Lords of the Ring or be in the finals and also be for the SSW Championship. We'll get back to that later. Our first Fatal 4-Way, it was GQ against Shane Fury versus Rough Crossing versus William Jacobs. William Jacobs gets the victory, and he goes on to the main event for the SSW Championship. Our second match of the evening was for the SSW Midwest Heritage title. Chris Logan gets a victory over Paulie Tomaselli. He gets the win, and we have a new champion, but thanks to the tag team champions of Max Holiday and Joey the Jet Avalon, Hot Fire, they interfered, they cost him, so therefore Chris Logan got the victory. It was then announced after that Ryan Cross made the save. That made a tag team title match for later on in the night, so we thought. Then we had the second Fatal 4-Way match, Ben McCoy versus Marcelo Spade versus a new Japanese guy, and we're just going to say Erie because I can't say his first name, and versus Grin. Grin gets the victory. He goes on. It'll be Grin versus William Jacobs in the Lords of the Ring final, but also it'll be a match to determine the interim SSW champion. Then we have the SSW Triple Threat title on the line. DDS defeats Pat Monix and Ray Furio, who came out without his mask and said he's now named Storm Grayson. But anyway, you get the victory. DDS gets the victory. An impressive debut for Pat Monix. So therefore, congratulations to DDS, but hopefully we get a chance to see Pat Monix back here in SSW. Then we had the tag team titles on the line. It was Paulie Tomaselli and Ryan Cross defeating Max Holiday and Joey the Jet Avalon, but eventually, after the match, they're celebrating. They're tag team champions. It is announced that the match was not for the tag team titles because they were supposed to face just the East-West Express. So therefore, that was by the wayside. Then RJ Daniels comes out and says, well, guess what? March 26th, when they're back, it's going to be a triple threat tag team title match where it's going to be Hot Fire defending against Hardcore Impact, which is Paulie Tomaselli and Hardcore Craig, and the East-West Express, it's going to be Jeff Luxon and Ryan Cross. So that is a match for March the 26th back here at the Broad Stop. Then your main event of the evening for the SSW Championship and the finals of the Lords of the Ring tournament. William Jacobs loses to Grin. Grin is your new SSW champion. Then after the match, Vic Capri hands the title to Grin, but then attacks him and pretty much says you're not the champion. Again, Vic Capri is out with injury, but when Grin is champion, a lot of things are going to happen with his recovery. When will we see this match? Are we going to get a chance to see Grin versus the Ice Pick Vic Capri? We'll have to find out. And of course, SSW returns here to the Broad Stop on March 26th, a Sunday, just a week before WrestleMania. Should be exciting. That's it for the SSW post show. When we come back, we're going to show you, or I believe it's time for the WrestleMania warm-up, or wrap-up. Come back. Okay, folks, now even though I said it's the WrestleMania wrap-up, it's the Royal Rumble wrap-up. We're back here. Of course, you just saw SSW's coverage from the Broad Stop in Kenosha. Now it's time for the Royal Rumble wrap-up. Of course, I missed all the pre-show, the first two matches, having to cover SSW in Kenosha, but I got home, got it done, boom. Your pre-show matches, and thank you very much, Tony, for sending these to me. Becky Lynch, Nikki, and Naomi defeat Mickie James, Alexa Bliss, Natalya. There was rumors on Facebook, or posts, that Mickie James did not look good in that match. Can you explain if that was true or not?
Yes, that was true. She, when I was watching during the match, she wasn't wrestling right. She wasn't communicating with her team. She just wasn't herself after being out of action for about 6 years.
Second kickoff match for the tag team titles. Gallows and Anderson beat Sheamus and Cesaro. I think this is the right move. They deserve the tag team titles. I think that now they're going to start to prove why they are one of the best teams in wrestling.
It's just like the offensive painting from NXT. They're going to dominate the force, and they're going to be tag champions. Now they can join AJ Styles as the club as champions.
Kick off the final one. Nia Jax defeats Sasha Banks. Who do you think is next in line? And we'll get to the women's title in a minute. But who do you think? Do you think Nia Jax has earned her spot to be a #1 contender?
Yes, I definitely think so. She's a powerhouse woman, and she will once face Charlotte probably at Fastlane for the women's championship.
Now we have our first match. It was the Raw Women's title. Charlotte defeats my girl Bayley. Now do you think here, Tony, do you see, we talked about it, I think Bayley's going to be back in the title picture come WrestleMania. Do you feel that way too?
Yeah, I feel that way. I feel Bayley's going to come back in. There'll probably be a women's Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania.
Wow, and what? Because she deserves a WrestleMania moment. She's been, what has she been? She's been up in the She's been called up since what? Was it SummerSlam?
Yep.
And so hopefully she gets.
Well, remember last year at WrestleMania, Zack Ryder won the Intercontinental Championship in the ladder match. So.
And then lost it the next night.
Yeah, so dream could come true.
Universal title on the line. Kevin Owens defeats Roman Reigns. We thought maybe Chris Jericho was going to get involved. No, it was Braun Strowman. He attacks Roman Reigns. First off, does Reigns and Strowman, is that a lock for WrestleMania or Fastlane?
Fastlane. I would see them two at Fastlane because I think that Roman Reigns deserves to be champion, but not tonight. It wasn't his night to be champion.
But that wouldn't be the last time we see Roman Reigns either.
Yeah.
Then we have in match number, what are we at? 4? 3? 3. Cruiserweight title on the line. Neville defeats and gains the title over Rich Swann. We both knew this was coming also.
Yeah, Neville was dominating. Rich Swann never saw it coming. It was like a freight train, and Rich Swann is done officially. So it's over for him.
When do you think he gets his rematch? Tomorrow night or tonight?
Maybe tomorrow night or tonight or tomorrow night at 205 Live.
True. Then we had the WWE Championship.
Upset.
I don't know if it's an upset, but it's definitely a match that was match of the night. John Cena, you saw both guys put everything on the line, no matter what. I'm not a John Cena fan. I was watching this with John Cena fans, and you gotta respect, especially he won the match. He won it, 16-time champion. It was a great match. He did 2 attitude adjustments to end this thing, and then after the match, he goes in the crowd, lets the kid from Make-A-Wish hold the belt. I got chills. He's great with what he does. I respect him as a wrestler. I respect him as a person. I'm not a fan of him, but anyway, great match. He ties. Ric Flair took a picture with him backstage. What else can we say about it?
Well, he's now gonna do what now is the impossible. He's got 2 weeks to prepare for the Elimination Chamber. He's got 5 superstars to survive. The road to WrestleMania is going to go through the Chamber. He's got to survive that and plus March. So he's got a long way to go, but it's going to be a rough road for John Cena. And
finally, your Royal Rumble match. It started off with Cass against, who was number 2?
Jericho. Jericho disappeared for a while.
Was he hurt? They looked like they were down on when Braun Strowman.
He did the Lawler move. He played the Lawler card. He held under the ring for a while, and he held in there for like 10 to 15 minutes under the ring.
So they did all that. They got all that taken care of, and overall, what a great night. And overall, but towards the end, we saw Goldberg. We saw Brock. Once again, Goldberg gets the upper hand. This is happening until WrestleMania when this rematch, and you're probably going to see the match I think we're waiting for, and Brock probably will get his revenge.
Yeah, we're waiting for that, but the shocker of the night was Roman Reigns.
Number 30.
Number 30, eliminating the Undertaker. Undertaker just giving him the disgust look.
Does that match happen at Fastlane?
That's got to happen at Fastlane, yeah.
You think Taker's going to come back for Fastlane?
I'm hoping he comes back in Milwaukee. We might be seeing him in Chicago the next night.
Goldberg is scheduled for Fastlane. Brock Lesnar is scheduled for the next night in Chicago, but that doesn't mean he won't show up in Milwaukee.
No, he won't. And kudos for Randy Orton, but like we were talking about before we started the show, I see Bray Wyatt winning the Elimination Chamber and him against Randy Orton.
But I don't understand it then. Are they just then this was so Undertaker or John Cena ties the record, and they're gonna just throw it away in 2 weeks?
Well, if Cena survives the Elimination Chamber, that's a big if. And Orton does pick Cena. Well, he's gonna pick Cena. So Orton versus Cena at WrestleMania, that'll probably be John Cena's match. It'll probably be Orton versus Cena, and Orton will end it at WrestleMania.
Well,
again, like WrestleMania 24, when he RKO's him in the middle of the ring and takes his title from him.
Hopefully we get a chance to see that heel Viper, but he might be a face, because if he's facing Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt's a heel. So we'll see what happens there, folks. I think overall a pretty good Royal Rumble. I wasn't you got to see 3 guys, but what were they? They were in the ring for a total of 5 minutes, not even the 3 guys.
Yeah.
So
So after NXT Takeover, I take a 4-3 lead, and after tonight, I take a 9-8 lead.
Yep, Tony's up 9-8 in the standings. Don't forget the loser has to wear a John Cena costume in a public area that we will announce in our 500th episode of the Ringside Report, which will be in June. So stay tuned for that. So that's it, folks. We'll Raw's tonight, SmackDown's tomorrow night. We don't have a time to preview it, but of course we'll have recaps of that on Wednesday and Friday. For Anthony Spoody, I'm Ryan Young. Thank you for watching the Ringside Report, your front row seat to all things wrestling.